Hello guys, this is Sumerian, and this is another Real Talk with Sumerian video. Before we get into things, I just want to address recent things that have been going on the game. If you played the game, you probably saw some very some very toxic yells. If you noticed, I'm in a better mood today, but I'm gonna just address this one final time, because this is not what the channel is supposed to be about. But I just want to let you guys know that the channel isn't about drama. It's not supposed to be about drama. It's just that certain people and certain things cause drama. So one final thing that I will say is the person in question, the so-called victim. I'm just a year older than the person. This game has. I will say there's a lot of people in this game that doesn't particularly like my guild Lotus. It's not necessarily because we've ever done anything personal to them. I get a multitude of reasons. We have high stats, we use vampire, we spam skills, whatever. Like I don't know. It's just it's a multitude of stuff. I've never really had someone come to me like, I personally hate Lotus or Flare because he did this to me or something like that. It's like it's just usually foolishness like stats or a number of losses or something. A lot of these people don't know us on a personal level. What I will say is that they definitely, what they will do is whatever is said about the guild, whether true or not, they will take it and they will run with it. It happens on games. It's just like if you don't like a person or a guild of people, what happens is that I heard this guy did this, and it's like it doesn't matter if it's true. It doesn't matter if they knew the person or not. It's just like, this is against the person I don't like. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna make yells. I'm gonna make forum posts. I'm gonna diss this person. I'm gonna tell everybody. But it's there's what people saying is just the truth. I make these videos for you guys. I make these videos for the community. I don't make it to entertain these players on this game. It's really just about you guys. But that's the last I'll be talking about this. You probably see the yells in game. All I would say is that 90% of them are alt accounts. I know who they are, who is on the alt accounts, who's making the yells, who's making the forum posts, and I will say that I did contact the right people to get that handled, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. Anyway, back on topic. So today's video is going to be about stats. You knew it was coming, so it doesn't make sense to. You better just keep watching now. So today, it's gonna be stats. So Lost Saga has evolved a lot since its introduction. The stats system, what it is today, isn't always what it used to be. It used to be you never was able to get, well, first there never used to be medals. So a lot of newer players don't know this, but the medal system in Lost Saga didn't always exist. It was just like hardcore stats. You would just build them, pay for money. At some point in the game, you would get, you would get 3 points instead of 2 to upgrade with. Like now you get 2 points, but now you used to get 3. Like that was the way it used to be. It's like the stat system changed a lot. I assume they took away that 3-point system because they were planning on adding in the medal system. Oh god, that was bad. It got added in. So like now you can, some people can get like 120, 130. I played Korean Lost Saga. I've seen plus 200 stats up, you know, non-epic awakened, you know. It's like it gets real, you know. So my basic thing is that people you know, people have a hard time fighting people for stats. They say people with stats suck, or you know, it's just it's a climbing system. It's a building system. It's not, Lost Saga isn't the only game with a system like that. If you play a lot of MMOs, you know, you can't just hop into the PvP right away. You know, you got to get some gear. You got to level a little bit. You got to, you know, and it's like Lost Saga, you know, it's still, it has MMO elements at its core. That's what it's supposed to be like. It's PvP, but MMO elements are in the game. That's how it's supposed to be played, you know. It's like developers want you to have stats. They don't want you to, you know. That's what adds the competitive edge to it. You know, if someone has 150 of something, you know, it's obvious it would be a little tougher for you to beat that person. You know, things were a bit different on OGP. I remember when I like first started playing, and I would fight people with stats and they would beat me. You know, but it's like nowadays it's like it's a lot different. Like the players are really different. Like when I used to get beat back then, I would just be like, okay, you know, this guy has 100 haunt or 100 fire orb. Those were like the meta stuff back then, or 100 strength on Viking. You know, I just figured, okay, I probably just need some better stats. You know, it's like, but players nowadays are just like, oh, you suck. You know, stats are cheap. You know, like, and it's just like it's a basic function in the game. Like, what do you want me to do? You know, not upgrade stats? You know, it's silly. It's a silly idea to have. I'm not doing so hot with Vampire right now. I'm usually a lot more faint. Okay, that poison. Okay, what's going on? Oh my god. Okay. I thought he was. Oh, okay. He lost his helmet. You know, and you know, stats, they're part of the game. You know, it's Lost Saga incorporated stats because they wanted you to reach that level. They wanted you to have stats that reached, you know, 110, 120. They want you to have a vampire weapon skill that comes back, you know, every 10 seconds. That's how they designed the game to be. And it's just, I think it's kind of silly that, you know, you're playing the game, you know, that's what's in the game, and and you know, you're just still complaining like, oh my god, you know, 165 vampire weapon skill, that's ridiculous. You know, it's just like, you know, you can, I'm only human, you know, we're all human. We can, any stats you see me have, you can have too, you know. It's like, it's possible. You just gotta work hard for them, you know. It wouldn't make sense, you know, if you played like Dragon's Nest and you went into PvP and you got destroyed by like a swordsman or you know, Kali or assassin, because, you know, he has like this really overpowered sword that one shots you. It's just like, he probably did more dungeons than you. He probably, you know, he's a higher level than you. It's like, you have to work for it, you know. I didn't get 150 vampire weapon skill overnight, you know. I had to work for that. It's not like you just pop up in 100 vampire weapon skill. So, you know, it's like, you should strive to reach that. You guys shouldn't let stats be your enemy, or, you know, get those stats, man. You know, spam skills. You know, I'm not saying like be cheap and you know, run and stuff, but yo, get those stats, man. It makes the game fun, in my opinion. That's my opinion though. Don't like, a lot of people like to be like, oh, that doesn't make the game fun for me, you know. It's just like, okay, that's fine. You know, some people like to play a certain way. You know, an example of that is like a player like Rick Woo. You know, Rick Woo, he I'm pretty sure everyone knows who No Cash is. You know, the god of combos. I personally never understood the hype behind No Cash. The only reason I say that is because there's always been players that play like him in OGP. They probably didn't see him, you know, but Rick Woo plays like that. Seasons plays like that. You know, Slocko plays like that. You know, they all have that really fancy, you know, heavy crasher to priest dash attack kind of thing, and they don't, you know, they don't have a lot of stats, but you know, that's the area that they're good at, you know. You know, I could probably beat Rick Woo in a match, like this, the one we're in now, you know, where everything's normal, you know, stats are activated and stuff like that. But I think I'd get raped in CBT, you know. That's his field, you know. So it's like, it's not like you can't play the game you the way you want, you know. You just gotta You just got to know where you need to be. You know, like I was saying, you know, get those stats up. You know, MD's, it's not here anymore. God, depressing. You know, it's like people are like, why do you want MD back, man? You're already high ranked. It's like even me, like I don't think the level I'm at is enough. You know, I wanna have a plus 200 stat. You know, without Epic Awakening. You know, it's just like it's Lost Saga, man. You know, I don't wanna quit this game knowing that I never like reached my maximum potential as far as stats and you know, combat ability goes. You know, I think that's what, you know, makes video games fun. You know, you play video games, Street Fighter, Lost Saga, Call of Duty. You know, you get really OP or whatever, you know, or you get like really skilled at the game. You know, I think that's what brings the enjoyment. That was a bad juggle right there. The only reason I stopped this because I thought this guy was gonna knock me out of the air, but whatever. But yeah, you know, that's I think that's what makes video games interesting. Okay, that was a good block. You know, it's just getting those stats, especially a lot of MMOs, man. You play a lot of MMOs, you're gonna have to deal with a growth system. You know, that's what's in Lost Saga, a growth system. You know, you're gonna have to do dungeons and get that overpowered sword, you know, that can kill higher level enemies, or you know, use that overpowered sword in PvP. You know, L sword is like that. You know, it's just I just think it's kind of silly that people are like, oh, I hate Lost Saga because I can't win because people have overpowered stats. But it's like, okay, like say you weren't playing Lost Saga, you know, like, and you were playing another MMO, right? Like, what would be the difference? You would still have to do dungeons and, you know, get stats, else you wouldn't be able to get those overpowered weapons. And oh god, that was bad. Those overpowered weapons, you know, it's like, what's really the difference? It's like, you know, it's like, I just feel like Lost Saga players, they just like complaining, you know. It's like, I personally never understood it, you know. I get a lot of hate for it. It's just like, oh man, you know, I hate Lotus, man. F those guys, man. You know, it's just like, why? You know, what did they do to you? It's just like, oh, because 150 vampire weapons kill you. You know, it's stupid. You know, a lot of those guys that are like complaining on Lost Saga, they play other MMOs, you know. And it's like, the system is you know, there's a growth system there, but it's like they don't complain there. But it's like, okay, it's like, you know, F Lost Saga because someone has 150 stats, but I play L sword and have a plus 11 weapon, and I'm okay with that. But F Lost Saga, you know, it's silly. You know, I think people should strive for, oh god, people should strive for that end game, you know, those end game stats. You know, get that 100 defense, get that 100 speed. You know, I personally think stats like speed make the game really fun. Running like super fast and like jumping from like one side of the map to the other with no effort, like, you know, I think that's pretty cool. You know, it's like, you know, I don't know. It's interesting. It definitely makes the game interesting. You know, it's like Lost Saga is a game where like there's so much possibilities. You know, you add the fact that, you know, there's gears, like there's over 140 different characters, you know, counting KR obviously, and it's like, you know, each of those characters have 4 gears, all of which do something different. You know, that's like, come on, think of the possibilities, man. The mixing, the matching. Then you have stats, then you have legendaries, you know, things like Ancient Trinket that could add another tier to a character, you know, improve juggles and stuff like that. You know, it's like, I think I said this in a previous video, but it's like, you know, Vampire, you know, I think it would get pretty stale at a point after you know regular resets, air resets, reverse resets, the off-round bounce combo, you know. But it's like Ancient Trinket, you know, that one gear just makes the character so much more interesting, you know. You know, it's fun, you know, guys. So, you know, I think you guys should really think about that, and you know, stats are cool, man. You know, get into it. You know, thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching.